Number 9, a survey was given to people who owned a certain type of car. What percent of the people surveyed were completely satisfied with the car? So we can see we have a circle graph here representing the number of people and how they felt about the car that they bought. The blue indicates that people were completely satisfied. The pink indicates that they were somewhat satisfied. And the green, now they weren't satisfied at all. So our question asks us, what percent, there are those words again, just like we had up here, what percent of the people, there's that word of, so I'm going to have people, a number that represents a certain number of people, surveyed were completely satisfied with the car. So, what percent? Well, right away, I know I'm going to need to write a proportion that has an unknown percent. That's what I'm looking for. And when I'm dealing with trying to find a percent, I always put the variable on top and the number 100 on the bottom. Percent deals with 100. Now, I have to decide what percent of the people surveyed were completely satisfied with the car. Well, it shows me down here that completely satisfied is blue, and here I have 1,100 people were completely satisfied with their car. But they didn't only survey 1,100 people. They surveyed 740 people as well who were somewhat satisfied, and they surveyed 160 people who were not very satisfied with their car. This represents my part, and this represents my whole. So over here, I have to have the part and the whole as well. But over here, I'm talking about people. What part of all the people were completely satisfied with the car? Well, I know that part, but I don't know the whole. But that's easy to find, right? We know how to find the whole number of people surveyed. We just have to take these people and add them to these people and add them to these people. That will give us the total number of people surveyed. And I know that only part of them were completely satisfied. So I can put my 1,100 up here right now because I know that's the part, and I can use my handy dandy calculator and total these numbers to find the whole number of people who were surveyed. So I had 740 plus 160 plus my 1,100. Oh, 2,000 people were surveyed. So that's the whole amount that were surveyed. 2,000 people. Well, now I can simply use my cross multiplication and I can solve for x. So if I have 2,000 and multiply it by x, I have 2,000x. When I take 100 and multiply it by 1,000, 100. I know that when I multiply by multiples of 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, I can simply take my 1 and multiply it by the whole amount over here. So that's 1,100. And then I add the number of zeros. 1, 2. If you want, you can check that out on a calculator. That's always okay if you're a little bit unsure right now. So 1,100 times 100, I can see that I get 110,000. 110,000. And that is equal to 2,000x. Now, I need to get my variable all by itself right there. I don't want that 2,000 with it, but this was 2,000 times x. So because this represents multiplication, I'm going to use the inverse operation, the opposite operation, which is division. And I'm going to divide by the very number that is in front of that x. Because 2,000 divided by 2,000 is 1, and 1 times x is x. Again, over here I have numbers that end in zeros. 2,000 is smaller than 110,000, so I'm going to start crossing out zeros in my 2,000, and every time I cross out a zero down here, I can cross out a zero up above. And then I've simplified the problem to 110 divided by 2. 110 divided by 2 is 55. The question asks, what percent of the people surveyed were completely satisfied with the car? They wanted to know what percent. So that means that 55% of the people were completely satisfied with the car. And if I go back and put a 55 in where my x is, you can see that this is about half of 100. And 1,100 is about half of 2,000. So my answer makes sense.